The following program is classified AV. It contains strong violence.
Every now and then a TV show comes around that has the ability to change people's lives and take them to another world just by looking at a screen. But what if a show that should have been influential never happened, and to make matters worse, had only one episode which existed as a teaser to the viewers for what might have been? I'm talking about Aaron Springer's 2006 animated TV pilot, Korgoth of Barbaria. This show was pretty much Conan the Barbarian made into a cartoon, except his name's Korgoth and he does all sorts of crazy shit, as you can see. The main reason as to why this show never made it past the first episode was its cost. Apparently the show was costly to make and not enough people clearly cared about the concept enough to keep going. And of course every studio wants a much bigger monetary return for what they put into a TV show, and the execs at Cartoon Network Studios, more specifically the Adult Swim department of Cartoon Network, clearly thought this show wasn't to be a success, so they decided it would not go ahead to be a TV show. Now, something that's important to point out is that a pilot is what's made to entice the execs to push a show forward and turn it into a TV series.
At the dawn of every TV show, only one episode is produced. This is called a pilot. It is the main factor whether or not a company will want to fund more episodes. Sometimes the best ones don't go beyond their test run.
Of course, TV pilots can get approved and turned into TV shows, and also TV pilots can get turned down and thus the show is scrapped. However, usually good TV pilots don't get turned down, and almost never do brilliant TV pilots get turned down. To put this into perspective, Korgoth of Barbaria is the best pilot for any TV show I have ever seen. And this is regardless of how many episodes the show even had. Even some of the most long-running and successful shows in history have had simply horrible pilots.
The baby is sleeping like a baby.
But for whatever reason, the show was turned into a series and thus became a huge success. Now, the main idea when someone is making a pilot is for them to throw everything they have into that first episode, because that needs to be bloody good if they want it to get picked up by a network. For me, there's no better shining example of a TV pilot that had absolutely everything thrown into it than Korgoth of Barbaria. Absurdist jokes, gratuitous animated violence and gore, hilarious characters.
You put that goblin down, barbarian! It has powers beyond your primitive reckoning. Behold.
This show had everything in that first episode. And it easily feels like it's stripped right out of a really messed up time in the Middle Ages. Although I doubt any time in human history had giant birds, trees that ate people, and wizards. Maybe giant birds. Hey, it's just an awesome fictional TV show. I mean, all you really have to do to figure out this show is going to be a great show is to see the opening titles.
The great cities have risen and fallen. Civilization's grip on mankind has grown weak and arthritic. Dark forces seek to renew forgotten covenants, and primordial beasts reclaim the wilderness. Out of the frozen north, a man emerges. A man of a barbaric age, whose merciless savagery may be the only key to his survival. They call him Korgoth.
Yeah, this is definitely not a cartoon for kids. The pilot is up on YouTube if you're keen to watch it. Adult Swim, I think, still has some of the rights to it. That's the only reasoning I can come up with as to why the previous upload that had a whopping 2 million plus views was taken down. This show actually has a huge fan base just from this one episode that was made. That's a pretty big achievement in itself. When I look at all the shows that I know of that had just one episode made, none of them come close to the brilliance of this. Korgoth of Barbaria clearly should have been given at least one season. It's pretty embarrassing if you ask me that this show never got off the ground. A show this good shouldn't be held to just 22 minutes of bone crunching, gore ripping, giant bird pooping, tree chompers brilliance.
You, a dung-coated vagabond, have managed to arouse me. Arouse my ire.
Having said that, I actually still think this show has a chance to get off the ground one day.
Don't you want me no more?
For a TV show with just one episode ever made to end up getting 2 million plus views on YouTube, that is just insane to me. The problem is, if the show ever gets a series run, the animation will probably be much different and have that terrible overdone design that I believe most animated shows have these days. But who knows, it may not. I just hope that one day it becomes more than just one episode. For now though, Korgoth of Barbaria really is the greatest cartoon that never was. It's a tease. It's a brilliant part. Look at this. Look at the bloody credits. That's hilarious. What the Thanks guys for watching another mini doco on something I really like. Korgoth of Barbaria is a show I've known about for years. Special thanks to Rebel Taxi actually. He's the guy who introduced me to the existence of this pilot with his top 5 animated pilot series. I'm just glad I was able to cover this on my YouTube channel and show you guys what this show is all about. Obviously a shorter video today. I'll be back with more content soon. Hopefully be going back to my old series eventually, but for now I'm just doing these mini docos because, you know, it's just something I'm passionate about at the moment. As soon as restrictions end in my area, I'll be back to more videos with my mates and more new different types of content. It'll all be here on the channel. Cheers for sticking around guys, and thanks for watching this mini doco on Korgoth of Barbaria. Thanks guys.